In this video, you're going to have a bit of a buffet of questions coming your way, so enjoy it. It should be a treat. So for starters, we're going to work out the equation of OR, and we've been given tangent TS. So to begin with, the radius is perpendicular to the tangent, so that makes an angle of 90 degrees. And so if the gradient of the tangent is half, then we use this formula. The gradient of the tangent times the gradient of the radius should equal -1, and that gives us the gradient of the radius as -2. It should always just be this gradient flipped around and the sign changed. That's the quick way. So the equation of OR would just be y equals -2x plus c, except we know that c, the y-intercept, is 0, so that's just the equation. To work out the coordinates of R, it's important to realize and see it as a point of intersection. So it's a point of intersection of three graphs: the tangent, VR, and the circle. Because I don't know the equation fully yet of the tangent, I'm going to just do an intersection between this equation of OR or VR that I've just worked out and the circle. And to do that, I just substitute in. So x squared plus y squared, but I know that y is -2x, equals 20. Be careful that you keep this in brackets, or you always want to substitute in brackets to ensure that you're heading towards correct maths. And when I work this out, I end up getting x squared equals 4. And then I'm going to substitute that in to the easier of the two equations. So I'm going to substitute into this equation here to get the y value. And so y equals positive or -4, but looking at where R is, it's -4. And so the coordinates of R, you always want to finish with what the question was asking, would be +2 for x, -4 for y. Working out the area of this triangle, it would be very helpful, just because of where this triangle is situated, to just work out the x and y intercept, because then we'd have a triangle. And so what I'm going to have to do first then is to work out the equation of this tangent. I already know that it's y equals half x plus k. Any graph, if you're ever missing a letter, you substitute in a point. So I'm going to substitute in R, which is a point on the tangent. So the y is -4, the x is 2. Half of 2 is 1. When I take it across, it becomes -5. And so the equation of the tangent is y equals half x -5. -5 is the y-intercept, so this value is -5, which means the length of OT would be just 5 as a measurement. And if I wanted S, the x-intercept, I would let y be 0. I prefer to keep x wherever it's positive. And so I'm going to move the 5 across, and to get rid of half, I'm going to go 5 divided by half, or if you want, I'm going to take the 2 that's at the bottom and times it up, and I end up with 10. And so just drawing up a little picture on the side here of what's going on, we've got a length of 5, a length of 10, and we're trying to work the area of this triangle, and it's as easy as just half base times height. That's 50. Half of 50 is 25. They don't say if it's centimeters, so we're going to just say units squared. And then lastly, the coordinates of V, and this is a really nice little trick. It's like working with the midpoint, and in this case it's a bit of an easier example, but in reverse, because in a sense I've got the midpoint and I've got another point, and I need the point on the opposite side. And so just to get in a good habit of layout, I'm going to write the midpoint formula, which is the x value at one point, and let's just call v xy for now. So it's the x value there plus the x value at R over 2, and to get the y, it should be the y value at v plus the y value at r over 2, and that's using the two outside values, which is really important because people often mix up and use all the values that they do know. And that is how to get the midpoint, but what is the actual midpoint? It's 0, 0. So the x is 0 and the y is 0. And so I'm going to kind of lay it out like two little equations. And so I'm going to times the 2 up. So 2 times 0 is just 0. And I end up with x plus 2 is equal to 0. So x equals minus 2. And same on the other side, 2 times 0 is 0. So y minus 4 equals 0. When I take it across, y equals 4. You want to finish with the coordinates of v. It's minus 2 and 4. I hope that this full-bodied question was helpful for you, covering a couple of different aspects. If you found it useful, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends.